Good evening. Please, we've started. You can put yourself on mute. So check yourself. If you are not on mute, put it on mute. Okay. Thank you for making our time to join again tonight. We are going to talk about PERT analysis. Call it PERT. The full meaning for PERT is what we call Program Evaluation and Review Technique, or that's what we call PERT. Is a technique in project management that the project managers use to evaluate the time or the duration of every task. You know, years ago when we are creating our demo project plan for near us, you can see I was just imputing time duration. I just decided to give everything to 2 days. But that's not professional. That is unethical. You can't do that as a project manager because you are not the one performing the task. You have to agree with the people performing the task before you can put a duration. So I have to make this clear so that you won't go and cause confusion for yourself. You say, I'm a project manager. This I have to do it 2 days, or you have to do it. I know you can do it in 2 days. You don't do that. It's a collaborative effort between the project manager and the people doing the task. If it's a project, if it's a business analyst, if it's a quality assurance personnel, developers, designers, you have to plan the project together with them. So that's where this part comes in. So what the part is talking about is that we need to take into account the uncertainties of task duration. So PERT uses 3 time estimates. The first estimate is optimistic, and that is the project manager. Project managers are always optimistic. They always believe you can do it, or they want things to be done fast. So you look at it here, you have optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic. And the people doing the task, the actual person doing the task, most of the time, they are pessimistic. They will always tell you, this is not as easy as you think. You know what I mean? So, but the project manager will say, you can do it now with experience. I know, so, you know. But that is not it. So we have to agree. We have to come to a round table. So what we have here, we have optimistic, we have most likely, and pessimistic. So we have to capture these 3 scenarios. For instance, that is the one I was trying to see, we can do this in 2 days. I can say maybe most likely is 2 days.
Sorry, Mr. Cha, sorry to cut you off. Can you tell Eka to off his camera? He's shirtless and his video is on.
You can do that on your own now. Just press the 3 buttons there. You don't watch it.
Please, let's make this clear. This is a classroom by every standard. I don't know if because we are joining virtually, it means that we are not organized again, or we are not disciplined. or you cannot be disciplined. Our school is a registered business school, and we are not playing. This is an executive class. Most people here have master's degrees. So many people here have PhDs. So many people here are directors in their companies. So many people here are medical doctors, lawyers, captain of industry. That they want to learn a particular skill and they are here doesn't mean they are nobody. So we are here, we are high profile people, and we should treat ourselves as such. I respect everybody in this platform. And even the way I talk to people with respect. And don't come here and make yourself, put yourself in a situation where people will look down on you or talk down on you. You start complaining, somebody is bullying you. If you are in Unilag and you are going for a lecture, you don't go dressing naked. Yes. If you are in the University of Ibadan or University of Nigeria or University of Westminster, London, or Cambridge University, you don't go to class naked. No lecturer will accept you into their class naked. So if you want to put video, good and fine. You can say, I'm always putting on my video. And I try as much as I can to look as simple as I can. You know, I don't know, but we have to be a bit decent. I don't know how to say it, but we are just adults here. Most people, the most junior people in our midst are undergraduates. I know we have some undergraduates here, but so many of them, somebody who is in the university is no longer a kid. So, yeah. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. We'll go back to our board. So like I said here, we are trying to understand how to estimate a duration for a task. That is what these parts help us to do. Is a technique in project management. You call it PERT, PERT analysis. What they mean that they use 3 time estimates to plan each task. So they will find the most optimistic, the most likely, and most pessimistic. So if they are trying to, for instance, let's say, receive project mandates as a task, some people can say it can
Let
be
me
done.
bring up and carry you so that
Some people can say it can be done in 1 day. Some people can say it can be done in 2 days. Let's say 1 day is optimistic, and then 2 days is most likely, and 3 days is pessimistic. So if we capture these 3 scenarios, these 3 time estimates, you calculate it, and you come out with the average, and that is the way it can be done professionally. You know, trying to capture everybody. You cannot say, so nobody takes into consideration your own view about the task. So even if you are the one doing the task, others might not be doing the task, but they might have knowledge of doing the task, and as such, they should be able to contribute. So, but you cannot say you have been neglected. After all, I'm the one doing it, and I said I can do it in 3 days, and everybody say. So, in this situation, you find out that everybody has been captured, carried along, and we come out with a realistic duration for every task. So you do it for every task. So that's why project planning is not that so easy, not just get it. And these are some of the areas where it takes time, because you need to have meeting, collaborate with stakeholders or team members in order to plan your project plan, to get your project plan if they are already in place. So that is how we do it. The benefit is that it provides more realistic view of project timeline considering task visibility. It helps in identifying tasks with high schedule risk, and support data-driven decision-making for project scheduling. And how to calculate it, like I said earlier, is to define this project, try to get the optimistic, the most likely, and the pessimistic duration for each of the tasks, and calculate them, get the average. You get the average, and that is how you get the time, you get the duration for every task. So, and the best practice, we use historical data or expert judgment to create a realistic estimate. So, like I said, project managers will always say, I've been managing projects, similar projects, and this way we have been doing it, and most of the time, this is the duration. That is what we call historical data. Historical data is leveraging on experience, what happened in the past, how you did it in the past. If you look at what we call, we've treated lesson learned. So these are part of historical data. So we have to use historical data, and then not only historical data, expert judgment. Some people that are going to be working on it, they might say, we're not going to use history. Yes, that's how it used to be done, but now this is how it's done. And because this is how it's done now, we can't use historical data. This might be the actual person doing it. It might be, for instance, a business analyst trying to conduct a requirement analysis. And the project manager is now telling you, you can conduct this requirement analysis in 2 days. And the business analyst said, no, it's no longer, or I don't use that technique. There are so many techniques to conduct requirement analysis. That is expert judgment. So we need to capture all these scenarios and put all of them in together to come up with the duration for every task. And that's how we do it. Like here I say, expert judgment, create a realistic time estimate. Consider using PERT in conjunction with a critical path method. CPM here means critical path method. We are going to look at critical path method. I said something about critical path method. These are areas of, risk in a project, looking at dependencies. So you have to use this part in conjunction with that critical for a comprehensive project schedule analysis, and monitor progress, update path estimate as needed. So if there is need for updates, you have to do the update. So it's the reason we're having it is because I know a lot of people are going to have challenges. How do you just come and start allocating time? It's not done that way. So And let's look at this example here. In this following example, we have, there are 7 tasks labeled A to G. Some tasks can be done concurrently, like A and B, while other tasks cannot be done until the predecessor's task is completed. So C cannot begin until A is completed. That is what we talk about dependencies. And some of the tasks that can be done concurrently, they do not depend on each other. So each task has 3 time estimates. The optimistic time estimate is O. The most likely or normal time estimate is called M. And the pessimistic time estimate is called P. The expected time, TE, is completed using the formula O plus 4M plus P divided by 6, and that is where we get the time estimate. This formula, this is the way they have been using it. That's the formula for getting this time estimate. I'm not the one who manufactured the formula. So that's what professionally, best practice, that's how it's done. So now let's look at this particular A. This is the activity. The activity here is, you see A, B, C, D to E, F, G. And then here we have the predecessors, and then we have time estimate. So the most important thing here we are trying to understand, because we already talked about predecessors. I know some of us were a bit confused when we were talking about predecessor yesterday. But like I said, as we continue to practice and play around, we get to understand it, because it's something we are going to be doing very often. Predecessor is what you need to do before you start another one. Here, that's like the way we explain it here. It should be the first task, and the following task cannot start until you finish that predecessor, if the following task is dependent on that predecessor. Why is it that way? There are so many tasks we do, we produce reports. The reports you produce from the first task you did might be the reports that are going to be used on the second delivery, or second task or deliverable. It means that if you do not finish your job or that task and come out with a report, nothing can happen. For instance, a project cannot start if we do not have a project charter. You see that every other things, there's a lot of things that are depending on that project charter to be done. Planning, everything from the planning and the execution cannot happen until the project charter is out. So if the project charter is being delayed, is delaying so many activities. So that's why it's very important to understand the predecessors. And this is the area where the critical part comes in. But for tonight, let's consider, because we are going to treat critical part method as a topic, as a technique on its own. Maybe we'll have to do that next week. Let's understand this time estimate. So why it's important to understand it, you see that here we are using a formula to do it, but it's a very simple formula. So if you are not mathematics inclined, don't worry. This might be some of the one-off calculation you are going to get. In project man, there's no too much calculation here. You know, I'm not scared of calculation. I studied finance, so when we talk about calculation, I'm used to, but so many of us might not be used to calculation, but the calculation here is very simple and will have a formula which you can apply. So let's look at these activities and how to get the time estimate. So let's look at A, activity A. The optimistic time to complete this is 2 days. And then we have the normal time, most likely is 4 days. And then we have pessimistic for completing this activity A is 6 days. So to get the expected time, we need to put it here. We need to apply this formula. So if you apply this formula, you see that it's going to be 4. So that's it. If anybody can, all we need to do is 0, that is 2 plus
16.
Yeah.
By 4.
Hello.
4 by 4. 2 plus 16. That's 4 times 16. The 4m plus the.
Okay. Good enough. We'll have a mathematician here. But the answer after the computation should be 4. So.
Yes, it's 4. To give you 24 divided by 6.
Divided by 6.
Wow.
Yes.
It's correct. It's 4.
Wow. It's correct.
So that is it. Thank you all the mathematicians in our midst. So if you compute it, the answer is 4. And the activity B, to get the activity B, is the same thing. So we apply this formula to every activity, and that is how we are going to be getting all these expected time. We call it expected time. Like now, I will go to my project labor. You see, everything I did there was, I didn't consult my team members. So I was doing it solo, and it shouldn't be. So, so like, you see, when I was doing this, all this time estimate, this duration, we need to apply PERT in order to get all this. Like all this I'm putting into 2 days is wrong. I want to make it clear. You know, I shouldn't just put 2 days. So, but if I'm the one, as the project manager, I'm the one completing all these tasks, yes, I can do that. I can put any days I feel I can do it. I'm doing it. So nobody can tell me, because I believe this is the amount of days I can. But if I'm working with a group, it's unprofessional for you to allocate time for them and tell them to do it within that time. Even if the project say we are under pressure, say this is 1 month project, we need to, yes, everybody still needs to, even if it's we still need to make our input. You cannot push it down your team members' throat. You have to do it this way. No. So if it's there is a pressure, everybody needs to walk around to absorb the pressure by carrying everybody along while you are creating this project plan. And a project plan is a plan to manage the project. So the people you are managing, they are part of the project you are managing. All these team members, they are part of the project you are managing. And that's why here, you see the resources here, you see business analysts, you see they are here. They are part of the people here already, the part of the people we are managing. So you cannot say it's my team, so you have to carry them along very well. That is the point I'm trying to make. So we need to understand this formula. You know, these are ways you need to start showcasing your expertise as a project manager. So many project managers don't know those things I'm talking about. They've been doing project management. I'm telling you, I've seen that, you know. But you have to do it the right way. So for the person that is complaining that he couldn't assign resources, if you are in project labor like this, this is the resources. If you have created this, and yeah, if you create this, you should be able to on every task here, you click on task, and then you click on this resource. You have to click on the resource, and you click on assign. Like you see, I've highlighted this particular, this task, risk assessment. This is the so for me to assign resources mean the person that are going to do the work. I have to click on it. For instance, if we have not assigned this to project manager, it's vacant, I have to highlight it. If I highlight it this way, then I go to assign. If you see this assign, I don't know if the way you are doing it, but that's the way to do it. If you do it this way and it's not working, that is the way I know how to do it. If you click on resources, after highlighting this, you see all the resources available. It's left for you to know which resources. So if it's BA, you click on BA, you see it's on PM. I click on PM, you see it here. And then you click assign. And if you want to remove, you can click here and remove. What I'll do here, I'll remove it. I'll remove this. I'll click on this and remove it. And if we go back, you see that it's gone. We don't have resources on this. If you want to assign resources back, you click on it. You go to resources, and then you highlight PM, and you click assign. If you click assign, it will show green color, show it has been assigned, and then you close it. So try it this way. If it's not working, then let me know, you know. So another way which I think is you can double click, but you can manage resources by double clicking as well. From here, resources, and you cannot assign it from here. Just looking if it can be assigned from here. Yeah, well, you can still manage, like change duration or things, but I don't think it can be assigned from here. Let me see. It should be able to assign it from here as well. So I think here, from here, if you click from here, you should be able to assign a resource. Yes. So you see from here, you can assign resources again. So if you want to assign from here, all you need to do is, if you double click, let me see, let me close it. Let's use this last task here. You double click, you come to resource, and you see resources here. This is resources. You click assign. When you click assign, you bring the resources, you assign resources, you can equally remove it. So these are two ways. You can assign resources by double clicking on the task, or you can highlight from here and come over here and assign it. So try any of these. If it's still not working, then we'll know why, but then it might be from your end, it might be from your system, not from the software itself. So that's it. If that's the point I want, that's the reason I brought this. I wanted to talk about this as well, and then make a point about this duration, that the way we did it is not the best approach, because we didn't I didn't consult anybody, but it's a demo this is, so I didn't have anybody to consult. It's a demo, so that's why. But if you need to do it, like if you people are beginning to work on your own projects, and some people are meant to be project managers, some people are meant to be business analysts. If we need to do it the best way, this is the way we have to do it. Or if you get a job as a project manager, your team members, more especially, are going to have developers. We are going to have BAs, quality assurance. Even if you are working in a construction environment, maybe building, construction, as electricians and things like that, you can use this part to assign duration. They can use to do their time. If somebody means to do fix a window, we should be able to use this to plan the duration it takes them to fix a window, fixing a door, painting the house, putting the roofing, putting the ceiling, the POP, the tiling, the everything, so these are various tasks. You can use this as well to assign your or plan your resources. Plan how the duration of the every task, every activity. You can call it task, you can call it activity. So that's the point I'm trying to make here. And yeah, so I just want us to get it right. And yeah, so I think We are almost done for tonight. This the only thing I wanted us to understand, this critical part. Sorry, this part analysis. Call it program evaluation and review technique. Call it PERT. So I don't think there is other. If you have any question on this, I'm ready to take your question. Looking at this before we, I don't think it's going to be difficult for us as long as we understand. The main thing here is to understand this formula. For us to understand this formula, the formula is the expected time is called TE. So that is it. So TE is equal to bracket 0 plus 4m plus P bracket divided by 6. And with that, if I apply it to all these numbers, this is the expected time it's going to produce. And with this, we can go to our projects nearer and start applying it. When we become a group, we have start working, and we are going to produce similar results where everybody will be comfortable and nobody will say the project manager is being too busy. All right, that's it for tonight. Like I said, yesterday somebody is complaining that the class is too long, and today the class is now too short. So it depends on what we want to achieve. Times we might want to achieve something that is very, very take us time to understand, and we'll make it longer. And at times we might just want to achieve something brief. So, but like I say, my class is between 1 hour to 2 hours. So at times you can go above 2 hours, but not all the time, which I think is not a bad idea. So if you have questions, we can talk about it now. Or I'll call on Victoria. Okay, Victoria is no, they will have Queen one day. Okay, Queen is not here. We'll have Karimot Jagun.
Sorry, sir, I'm here. Queen is here.
Okay, Queen.
My question, sir.
Yes.
All right, please. There are some that are not mathematicians. We are still struggling with solving mathematics. Please, could you please explain to us the formula again, how you got that expected time, please?
When I was, I say that we apply the formula, and that is how we got it. It's very simple. I'm going to share the notes, so it's not a big deal. So just follow the notes. We have, I've removed my screen here. When I was there, I was asking if you have a question while I was still sharing my screen, but you didn't.
My hand has been up since, even when immediately after you finish discussing it, my
Okay,
hand
let
has
me
been
reshare
up.
my screen so you can see it again, but it's a basic mathematics.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we said we have 3-time estimate. We have optimistic, optimistic, look at 3-time estimate. Number 1 is optimistic estimate, O. Number 2 is most likely estimate, M. And number 3 is pessimistic time estimate, P. And the time estimate is called TE. And to get this TE, we have to apply this formula. It needs to be 0, which is optimistic, plus 4M plus P divided by 6. And we say that once we apply this formula, this is the formula, we apply this formula using this, for instance, activity A. Activity A is going to be, we are going to put this 2 for O, and we are going to put this 4 for M, and we are going to put this 6 for P, and we'll calculate it and divide it by 6. Is going to give us 4. So try it that way. If you try it that way and you are not getting it, as you said, you are not mathematician. If you have a pen and paper and you are writing it down and using calculator to do it, if you have done it and you are not getting it, then we can talk about it again. Are you okay now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It's clear now. I've done it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's go back to
You called me earlier, sir, before she.
if you have to raise your hand, then you need to be prompt. Okay, you can talk now.
Okay, sir. So I just want to get some clarification. Is that the expected time calculated? Is that what will be imputed as the duration? The previous
Yes,
one we did in Project Liba.
yes. The expected time, that is the expected, we call it expected time because even after putting it, we might have unexpected situation that can disrupt all our plans, and we might not be able. So everything is expected. It's not the actual. So the expected, you might expect this the way you plan it, but when you start executing, something might happen. Something you cannot control, and you see the time might change. So we call it expected. But in the project labor, you see the area of duration, that is where we are going to impute it.
Okay, sir. But to get the normal time, the optimistic and the pessimistic, do we have to discuss with all those that are in charge of those activities to impute or to give us an estimate? Okay, what do you think the number of days for the expected time should be?
That is what I said. You need to have a meeting with your team members to capture what everybody feel about the about the duration for the activity.
Okay, sir. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Victor,
Hello, Mr. Charles. I want you to help me clarify something. Karimot said something earlier that you have to have meetings with the resource people to find out their own time. Now, my one question is it that the project manager is going to come up with an optimistic time himself and then ask them what is the most likely time you think you can finish this task? And then the project manager will now fix a pessimistic time. Is it how these values are gotten? Because I want to know.
I say you need to
Thank you,
call
sir.
a meeting of the people you need, just like Karimot said, I explained with Karimot. You call a meeting of your team members team members are the, for instance, if it's a BA, is the only team member you have at that moment. You are planning, like we see in our planning, we only have provision for BAs and project managers. So when we are planning or drafting or creating or developing a project plan, you need to invite, at that point, you are trying to understand the duration of every task. You need to invite BA to make in your own, which you can do. You might not involve BA because you are doing it. But the one you are not doing, BA is doing it, and you are going to assign it to BA, then you need to call BA and then have a meeting with the BA. So with this, you will say, I think you ask BA, what time do you think? BA will say their own, you say your own. With the, and again, if you have historical data, you can make use of historical data, like I said. It's not mathematics that it must be this and that. That's why you have to call a meeting for everybody to decide. I don't know if I'm making points. It's very clear. You cannot
Yeah,
do
thank
it
you,
in
sir.
isolation. That's the point here. You have to carry every team member along, everybody that is affected. You know, you are not, some of you are here are project managers. So many project managers do not know anything about business analysis. So you cannot go and tell business analysts you must do your root cause analysis in 2 days. Some root cause analysis can take up to even 2 weeks. What is root cause analysis? You might be digging deep to find out the root cause of something. And as we are progressing with your investigation, you are doing research about what causes this. So you, the project manager, cannot say root cause analysis 2 days. The project is the business analyst who will look at the problem and know how long, based on his expert judgment as a professional, how long it's going to take him to come up with something good. So that's why you need to consult them, do it, and agree. Once you agree on time, it is when they are beginning to default on that agreement, then that's where you start querying what's going on. We agree that we are going to finish this work in 3 days. So what is your problem? Am I clear?
Yeah, very clear, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we'll have Linda Ogwine.
Good evening, sir. Please, my question is on resource allocation, how to assign resources. Please, can you go back there? I did not get you very well. Thank you.
We did it twice, we said, but I'll still go back there. So what didn't you get there, Linda? Let's start from there.
Like how to assign resources to PM or BA.
So were you sleeping when we are doing it again? Because
You
you
said
see, I double click. We do it differently 2 ways. So how do you not understand it? Because I don't know how you say you didn't understand it or you didn't see how I did it.
like my question there is, can you maybe you use keyboard and input PM, or must you assign it? Must you click on assign resources there? Can you just type PM on that column, or must you use assign?
You cannot type PM. That is not how to assign. I said there are 2 ways to assign. Number 1, you highlight. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
You see, you highlight here. I click on it. That means highlighting. Then I go up here. You see assign resources. I click on the assign resources. it will bring this a dialog box. And this dialog box, these are resource names, various resources we have. Okay, I will remove this resource again to reassign it. I will remove this. If you go back here, you see that it's no more. Okay, for the sake of you understanding it very well, let's redo it again. This we highlight, you can see it's vacant. There is no person to do this risk assessment for now. And we want to assign it to project manager to do the risk assessment. We come here, we click, we go to assign resources, we click again. It brings this dialog box where we'll have project manager, business analyst, and we'll have costs. This is material resources, and we don't have provision for material resources. So we click on PM because we want to assign PM. We click it here. That is highlighting the PM. We come over here. We see assign. We click on assign. Once we click on assign, it's going to show green, showing that you see here is ticked, assign. And you come over here, you come on the Gantt chart, you see PM assigned again, and that is it. If you after
Your
doing that,
cursor is not moving. I don't know. Maybe it's from my end.
after doing that, then you close.
So your cursor is not moving, sir.
Well, it's not. You can see my own is moving. I don't know. I can't come and start moving your own.
It's not
No,
moving.
it's not
It's
moving.
not
I
moving,
guess
sir.
it's your
Mine
network.
is also not moving.
It's not moving here.
My cursor is not moving.
We are
It's
not
not
moving,
that.
sir. It's not
We are not
moving,
doing
sir.
this
It's
demonstration.
It's
It's not
static.
moving at all.
Your
It's not
demonstration is
moving. I
not
thought you were
recording.
just
Because of
lecturing.
the
I thought
network.
it was
It's
just
because of
you.
the network. It's
But
everybody,
everybody
not
cannot
just
just have
you.
network at the same time.
Someone wasn't
You know,
moving.
it's
It was
possible.
moving before, but it's not moving.
You see, my cursor is not
And
moving.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Your cursor is not moving. It's just.
So nothing is moving.
It's just stagnant
Yes.
like that.
Huh?
It is static, sir. It's not moving, sir.
It's
Static,
just
sir.
on the
It's just
line
as a
under
place.
PM.
Okay. So even all the windows I'm opening, you are not seeing any window.
No.
Nope.
Not
No.
at all.
Yes, sir.
The last action you
Yeah.
performed was you deleting the PM. Nothing more.
Yes, that's the last thing you did.
That CD was just deleting the PM and it stopped.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It might be network, but let me do it again.
Onye ama m onye ọ na-echi ntị. Ọ mara ụmụ ọ na-atụ efere na kitchen. Johnson.
Yeah, please put yourself in a mute if you. Okay, are you seeing the cursor? Is it moving now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it's
Yes,
moving.
it's moving now, sir.
Okay, let's quickly do this again.
Maybe when this Thursday she sleep.
So because I have other class coming, you have to be quiet. If I finish doing it, I'm not gonna do it again. If you do not understand it now, then you have to go to YouTube to learn it. So this is it. We highlight this. This is the task here. We are going to remove it and redo it again. This is it, and we'll remove, and we'll go back here. We see there is no resource for this particular activity. So we have to assign a resource for this task, somebody that will do this. And then to do that, we come and highlight this, and then can you put yourself on mute, please? Then you click assign, and when you click assign, you bring the resources, you select PM, and you click assign again. Is it moving?
Yes.
Okay, you assign it. Once it's assigned, it will show green color with a tick. And then even if you come to Gantt chart here, you see that PM has been assigned to this particular, this is it, PM here. And you can close this dialog box, this small dialog box. And if you close, you see here that it's already assigned. I equally said you can assign by double-clicking on this particular space or this particular task. All you need to do is you double-click, which I'm going to do now. I double-click, and once I double-click, you tap this resource here. You can see, you see it here. This is resource assign. This particular icon is for assigning resources. You see it here. Even if you come up here, you see it's the same icon. So if you click on this icon, it will open this dialog box where you will click PM or highlight PM, and you click assign. And once you've done that, if you go back, click close here, and then close this one again, you find out it's already assigned. You try these two processes. These are the two ways I know you can assign resources. If for you that are saying you just want to come here and type, maybe it can work. Try it. If it's working, then let us know. So,
All right, thank you, sir.
you're welcome. So, for others that have got question, we'll have Victoria. I think we've spoken to Victoria.
No, sir, he has not spoken to me. I just want to ask a question.
Okay.
I want to know, I don't know if I'm correct. Why is the predecessor blank on A and B and the C? I don't know. I don't think I don't know.
Did you attend this lecture?
No.
Go and watch the video.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have any other question?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for participating for tonight. And
Thank you, sir.
I'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
And
thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. By the way, you look good without your cap.
Please, I'm making an announcement, please. I've not finished. So, for those who have not received their invites, if you're having issues receiving your this thing on Trade Camp, we'll try to use weekend. You don't need to submit your email, because I'm not going to work with the email. All I need to go there is for all the pending assigned, we are going to reassign them. So if you are part of the people, once we finish reassigning, I'm going to drop an update on the platform that we've reassigned for those who have not gotten to go and recheck and accept and then set up their accounts. So that is what we are going to do. Is after this resending of invitation and you are still having issue, then we can talk about it again. And that's it. And hopefully by Monday we'll start knowing those are going to be the team lead for various groups. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Charles.
Thank
God
you.
Thank you,
bless.
Mr. Charles.
Thank you for
Thank you.
explicit teaching.
Please, Victor, are you still online?